the hot seat, people. Today's topic is say hello to the bad guys. We're talking about all the evil villains from all the walks of comics, from all walks of life. What makes them tick, what they think about, why you love them, and also why the superheroes that stand against them hate them so much. Should we hate them, or are they actually misunderstood? On the panel today, we've got a full house. Welcoming back my boy, the Bajan bombshell, Shawn Aline.
Yeah.
We have... we have the movie whisperer, Lisa Harris. We've got the fan of steel and Seth Nojumera, the Shogun of darkness. The man that is sounding like a little girl just now trying to imitate Scarface. Yeah, let's get out your system, Seth.
Say hello to my little friend. I got it. Done. Moving on.
Right. And just we at... I don't know why I always have to do... We at Cat apologize for that horrible bastardization of Scarface, and we as a panel do not support Seth Dulcie in any of his poor imitations, and any imitations to come thus far are a result of his own personal opinion and does not reflect the talent that stands in Cat. We are a tame people, a T-A-M-E people.
I see what you did there, and I'm going to forget it.
So that's a little in-joke there, people. We're talented individuals attacking mainly every Tuesday.
Oh my god.
Tuna fish always makes everyone no.
Okay. On that note, no. Let's talk about, let's try to define a villain. Let's try to understand what makes a person a villain. You know, back in the day, we would have...
Talking about most enemies. I did it.
Yes, right. Back in the day, most of the time, villains used to rob banks, and that's where the most of the guys used to be captured with superheroes, robbing banks, just monetary game basically. Then we move on to more of sinister plots to take over the world. People wanted not just the money anymore. They want to take over the whole world, rule the world. They wanted people to be their subjects and to fear them at every corner. Then we move to a more of a personal note where the villains are not only just trying to take over the world, but maybe trying to prove a point, probably trying to get their ideas across. Make people understand what they really want to say.
Today we have a more multi-layered villain.
Yes,
he's not just a black and white character that just stands as a tool for the hero to punch. He's complex. In some instances, you wonder if he actually is a villain. So what I'm going to propose is that we pick two of our favorite villains. We pick a topic to approach them from, and everyone takes a turn sitting down in the hot seat. Comments, we discuss, and we'll end the podcast when the table comes round, straight around back to the beginning. So, Seth, who are you going to cover?
I was looking at Joker for sure. That's one.
All right, that's one. All right.
Now, Mephisto.
Yeah, Mephisto, the Lord of Darkness.
Yes, I was looking
at the person that gave me one more day, and is the reason why I cry myself to sleep at night.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I didn't really like. And well, we'll get to that.
Yeah. All right, fan of steel. What about you?
Well, I plan on covering Sinestro and Lex Luthor.
All right. Bajan bombshell. Who are you covering?
I would like to come in early and just.
You don't think he could last?
What?
Huh? What?
He's premature.
He's prematurely podcasting. He's a premature podcaster.
Yeah,
all right.
He got a problem. They got pills for that, buddy. Go ahead.
Wait, you know, if you wrap your microphone in a like really thick set of rubber, it might help.
Wow. Anywho,
all right, cool. Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna drop the bomb early and hit it from another angle. Mr.Glass.
Yeah, that's
from Unbreakable, because I don't think
all right,
he said it was just going to be comic books, you know. And
No,
that
we
was a
didn't.
comic
No,
book
we didn't. All right.
series, and that was a comic book themed movie. So
Yeah, that's
um,
true, and I loved it.
yes, I think Mr. Glass up there for me,
All right,
and
that's number one.
Apocalypse
Apocalypse.
from Marvel.
All right, for me, I'm going to be looking at my boy, Victor Von Doom, and the God himself, Lord Darkseid. And that's about all the villains we're going to have the time to
Hello.
cover. this
Lisa.
podcast. What?
Hello, yeah.
Hello.
What?
Hey, how are you?
What,
This man
Lisa?
forget you.
How are you doing?
Hi, we're good. Well, let's get to talking, Seth. So let's
Lisa,
just
Hey,
dig
what,
right-
Lisa,
Lisa?
Lisa.
What?
Lisa, tell
Wait,
us
what?
your villains.
No, right.
What villains?
You know, man, they got my back at all. Yeah, Lisa, sweetie. So, come on, movie whisperer. Who are you gonna be talking about?
Well, I've chosen.
What about Dr. Octopus? He was in the Spider-Man movie, huh?
He
what
was,
about
wasn't he? But
Wasn't
I'm
there
not
a
going to talk
villain
about
in that new movie that came out? I can't remember what it was. It was this guy with a hammer. Then has other guy that was really, really horny. That all the girls like.
Yes, that's the one. His name is Loki.
Oh God.
Oh, yes.
There's so much rhymes
well,
with
Who's the other one? Who's the other one, Lisa?
And I'm going to talk about Watchmen's Ozymandias.
That's a mofo.
who?
Ozymandias.
That is, you know, honestly, if I had to pick a superhero name, that would be the last name. That's a how do people just call that name? Like
Ozymandias. It's not
that
right.
is that, but I mean, it's still a lot of mofo.
Ozzy.
Ozzy,
I think it's awesome. That's a name that'll inspire awe and fear.
really?
If I can't pronounce your name, how do I fear you?
Because while you're not pronouncing my name and I punch you in the face and ended up ruling the world 15 minutes ago, that's right. My plan's already complete.
I mean, like, if you have like his signal in the sky and the police or villains are going, oh, it's that guy. He's coming for us. It doesn't work. I guess when villains try to pronounce his name, they're stuttered. So then he gets a chance to beat them. Yeah.
I will let Lisa go first and give us the
Ladies first, unlike the very rude Troy.
yes, go. Lisa, I'll let you give you my
I think we should let Shawn go first, seeing as though he's a visitor. I think we should.
I wanna say I'm appalled that you guys are gonna say that I'm rude when I was trying to save you all. But you see, once again, I'm the misunderstood villain. You see, I was trying to protect you, but okay.
You're not a villain, Troy. You're just misunderstood. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No one's worrying about it. Not me.
Yeah, no one is spelling the acronyms either.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it.
The podcasters won't get that joke. Lots of in-jokes tonight, folks. Just don't worry about it. Don't
Who's
worry
our
about it.
sponsor today? We didn't say who our sponsors were.
Our sponsor today is Larry Sweetbread Shortcake Snow Cone and Sugar Cake Emporium, located just down the road next to the cow, next to the rock, and upwind from the fort. That's right. They have everything you need with all the sugar on it. All the cocaine, sugary sweets you need. That's right. Larry Sweet Cake, Shortcake, Sugar Cake Emporium. So good, I mispronounced it.
It's sweet enough.
That's when we got diabetes.
Warning, by the way, some snow cones may contain sawdust.
And cocaine.
There's no cocaine.
I said
Anyway,
cookies.
this
I said cookies.
people cocaine.
That's sugar.
I said cookies.
That's sugar on top of the cookies, ain't cocaine.
I said it's cookies.
Shawn,
Yes, sir.
you're still here, right?
I'm here waiting patiently.
No, mind you, the attorney at Comics said that this would be a structured podcast.
She lied.
Listen,
Yes, he lied.
remember what I told you guys in
We
the
derailed.
pep talk?
We
are, say it together with me.
Tim!
Tim.
Shawn,
No, we probably should start over. No one's gonna get any of this. This
Shawn,
is
Shawn,
Yes, sir.
you could go ahead, please.
All right. Bombshell coming in.
So suspect, but go ahead.
Hear that bomb that just dropped? Anyway. So, for me, right, when I was compiling my list, I was thinking about villains. And what?
I think someone fell into the vat of acid.
What is going on tonight, people? Listen.
Troy.
Do you have Batman on speed dial?
All right, sorry. Continue.
You good?
No, I'm not. I'm not
Oh.
good. Honestly, I'm not. But continue.
All right. So I was thinking about not the average bad guy, not the person who's just the common fool for the hero to make him look good, and then he just disappeared for 20 issues, and then to make this return. I wanted people that, to me, a villain, right, who's deserving to be on this list is someone who makes major moves, and they cause long-lasting ramifications in whatever they're appearing, right? And one of the top people for me is Apocalypse from Marvel Comics. This is a guy who, please don't ask me to really explain too much about his origin or his powers, but he is his basic structure. The man's whole meaning, his existence is to cull the weak from the strong. That's it. He wants to kill you if he thinks you're not fit enough, you're not strong enough. Well, how much more villainous could you get? That's it right there. He ain't worried about the money. He ain't worried about, he's social standing just, for the sake of, he wanna rep this company or whatever like that. You know what I mean? The man simply want the strongest people. And in a way, this is the best villain. I think this is going back to something we was talking about, Troy. Can't you almost see where he coming from? How often you walk downtown and you say, man, this place real crowded. I wish all these old people would just go my way or just go someplace and dead. Is it just me? No, just me? Okay. Well, that's how I think sometimes. I'll be honest. I say the things that you don't want to see.
But tell us what you really think.
Am I really the only body that see like a whole bunch of old people on a bus or walking in front of you slow and you trying to get someplace and you just feel like pushing them down a hole? No.
Yeah, but we don't actually say it out loud like that.
I drop bombs, Lisa.
Clearly you did.
That's what I do. All right? So
I don't even know. I want to say something to that, but I don't know what to say because I might say something and then it might be termed as I'm racist or something, or I might turn out to be agreeing with you. So I'm not going to leave that one alone.
I stepped out for a second there, guys.
Remember that old people are all around us and they got eyes on you. Just remember.
And you can be old one day if you live so long.
No, he gonna live long. The old people kill him.
And then I will follow Apocalypse's rules. I will kill myself. I will do the world a favor.
Carry on.
Apocalypse killed himself?
Insert the bomb
No.
right here. What?
Okay, because...
Anywho, so this man, Apocalypse, obsessed with this idea of survival, right? And changing people, making them better, was one of the great things that he did in comic books. He took one of the corniest mutants ever and made him cool. Yes, I'm looking at you, Angel. All right? Your power of having wings. Ridiculous.
No.
Actually, he has
flight. So
no. Actually, he has far more powers than you would actually think. It's just that he's never written properly.
He had a second mutation recently. So.
Actually, he can fly. Those wings, the feathers, they're like pretty sharp. And no, I'm not talking about Age of Apocalypse Archangel. I'm talking about Angel. His natural wings, those feathers, they're like pretty sharp. You can like shoot them out like darts.
What? That was when he got changed to the Archangel.
No. As Angel, he can do this.
Troy, you on the sugar high?
I'm serious.
Listen, Angel's only ability was to fly.
No, it's not.
Let me be more technical.
Do you know he also has a healing factor?
Like a bird.
Do you know he also has a healing factor?
That is a second mutation. That only happened the last 5 years. That is second mutation.
More than the last 5 years.
That happened after he turned back into Angel from being a archangel, and he had that second mutation where
That was more than 5 years ago.
his blood, if he has the same blood type as you, he could able to cure you or bring you back to life. He has that only came recently. That's nothing he had before. That's second mutation.
And you know why it come recently? Because of Apocalypse. Because
Right.
after Apocalypse made him cool, people realized they can never go back to the original Angel, how he was just a big man flying around with goose wings. It's
Correct.
ridiculous. Apocalypse changed the face of comics with having Archangel, who became hard, who became cool, made you like him. Then on top of that, right, he continued to do it throughout the years, and he
All right.
would take people. This is how great this man is as a villain, right? He would take people and force them to do his bidding, or he would just transform them into the image that he wanted. He did it to Wolverine, did it to Caliban.
Hey, stop a minute. No, I just got to ask something this here. He did, to me, he makes you, he increases your power. He animates your powers in the way that, it differently. How he did to Gambit. Gambit could be deaf, and he could turn all the things into, like, air into dangerous gas, deadly gas, whatever, right? Wolverine, he did jack to Wolverine. Nothing really Wolverine except giving back his adamantium, which Weapon X could do that there at any point in time, right? So to me, he did nothing to Wolverine's character to improve. He didn't hurt his sentence in nowhere. He did all he gave him was a big sword, and we didn't even know what that sword was never explained what that sword could do. He got back his adamantium, and he was basically a killing machine, but he still had a conscience in the way. So to me, I don't know what he really did to Wolverine, and if that was just a way for fans to get involved. But he did it more Wolverine than nothing more than what he was before. I don't know if that is saying that Wolverine was always a killing machine and that he's the best at what he does, and what he does is nothing nice. I don't know, but to me, that was a waste of time. They could have phoned someone else. They could have used Sabretooth as that, and that would be more interesting.
All right,
I kind of agree with you, Seth. I have to agree with you. But I sorry to say, I gotta throw this out to Lisa. He had I guess you would say a slave, a servant, by the name of Ozymandias First. I went there.
Okay.
I'm just saying. That's how great he is. He had a henchman by the name of Ozymandias, one of the people that's on your list.
Yeah, and
that's how great he is. He makes other villains his slave. Not that it was the same person, but just say you get where I'm going.
You get what you say.
You get where I'm going with it. And okay, no, to finish up, this is a man that was around for thousands of years. He got solid history. You know what I mean? He ain't just a come by night villain that all of a sudden just appear on the scene. He was there manipulating behind the scenes for countless eons. He was responsible for creating another one of the greatest threats to the X-Men, Mr. Sinister. He was pinnacle. He was also instrumental in creating another major character in the X-Men mythos, Cable. It's just the list goes on of what this man.
I could jump in here because I think this is what we have to do. We have to also hear what people say, and then we have to come to our own conclusion in terms of like a debate saying that what you're saying is true. So you're saying that Apocalypse is a great villain, right?
Well,
I'm going to say that he is a punk.
Wow.
Wait. I gotta ask a question. All right. We all know that Apocalypse has a view that only the strong should survive. All right. And in a way, in his own mind, based on the tribe that he grew up in, he's actually trying to help the world. Now, let's talk about personality, all right? Because personality is really what makes a villain readable and awesome or boring and cheesy. What is it, Shawn, about Apocalypse's personality that makes him such an awesome villain? And in comparison, Mr. Attorney, what is it about Apocalypse's personality that makes him a punk?
Apocalypse doesn't care what you think about it. He doesn't ask when he does something. He doesn't second guess himself.
Isn't he to be pitied? Look at what led up. Look at what led up to his creation. Look at all the horrible things that happened to him. Is he really awesome, or shouldn't I pity him? I kind of pity him.
Really?
I pity him.
How so?
He's lost. He's lost. The man starts off pretty much as a guy just want to be just like the other average Joe. He gets born into slavery. He gets ostracized by his own tribe. He gets ostracized by the pharaoh. He ends up in a warrior tribe. He has a brief stint of happiness. He loses the warrior tribe. The warrior tribe, I mean, that's a good thing and a bad thing, because the warrior tribe itself, their belief was only the strong should survive. So as we can imagine, he probably grew up in kind of a Khal Drogo type of setting. So he lost them, ended up bonding with celestial technology, and from there, just based on all the pain that he went through, decided humans are inferior. Mutant kind is beyond them, and I am beyond mutant kind, so I shall rule. Should I not pity him? What is there about Apocalypse that makes him so awesome in comparison to someone like Doctor Doom, who, yes, is egotistical, but when you sit down and think about some of the very same points Doom has put to the same heroes that he battles, when you look at the fact that in comparison to Apocalypse, Doctor Doom's servants, yeah, the people in his administration fear him, but he rules with kind of a Karl Marx type of government, but his populace is happy. They love Doom. So what makes Apocalypse so awesome?
Because he's relatable. Everything you just said, don't you feel sometimes that you just want to be better? You wish that you could reach this height. Like inside you know that there's this greatness, and you want to reach it so bad, right? Or how about you have
like you got an idea, and you really believe in it. You put that idea into your heart, and it melts with your soul, and you just put it out, and then it falls and it shatters.
Yeah.
And you become dark.
Yeah.
And bitter.
And twisted.
And
bald.
Okay.
I was stepping here now.
Yes,
this is my cue. What I'm saying about Apocalypse is that...
It's funny that you should say the word Q.
Right. What I'm saying about Apocalypse is that he is a villain, but to me he is just... I don't want to say a word that will offend Shawn.
No. It's your opinion. So just say it. He is what?
I don't see him as the ultimate rate up there in the villains, because he has one motive, and
it's stereotypical. It's the cookie. What you're trying to say is the cookie cutter. I want to rule the world. Is that what you're trying to say?
In a way.
It's not. There's no depth.
It's because he's saying that the strongest will survive, and he reminds me of Hitler. In the way that Hitler wanted to make this ultimate race, and he didn't have the characteristics of this ultimate race. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Hitler had a little mustache and
I think this is the perfect time to throw this over.
Wait. Let me finish this thought.
All right, yeah.
And I don't see him as that villain that makes an impact. He comes with his 4 horsemen, and he will wreak a little havoc, do his thing, be defeated, and then he will go back into his cryo chamber and just sleep another few things to rejuvenate.
So
then he will come back to the same plot, the same thing to do it over again. So it's nothing new.
It's nothing new.
It's nothing new he's doing. He's not bringing nothing to the table.
Yeah.
His horsemen is not staples in the Marvel U. They are defeated, and most of the time when they're defeated, they're destroyed. And only the main characters, like the big characters, like maybe Wolverine and Polaris and those people, they stay behind and Gambit and those guys, and off and on, Archangel, they stay back. But other than that, he doesn't make a real impact to me.
I have to agree, because as a villain, I came to know him during the age of the Apocalypse arc. That was during the 90s when everyone was hoarding comics because by now they would be worth millions and everyone would be, driving a sports car because they got to sell them. So yeah, the Age of the Apocalypse arc was awesome because comics, the X-Men especially had reached kind of, I don't want to say stagnation, but they had reached a status quo. Nothing new was happening, so all of a sudden there came this storyline that shook it up immensely. It was completely different. I would almost say that was, to me, the first big Elseworld story, the first big exploration of the concept of taking a world and doing something completely alternate and different and publishing it. So it had its time, it became famous, and then it came to an end. And yeah, after that, I don't think anyone thought of anything else to do with Apocalypse to make him any deeper. So pretty much he would be shelved, like you said. You would forget about him for a time, then he would reappear. Maybe there would be some slight change. Something will happen to him.
Quick, Troy, if I may.
All right. Wait. Before you do, I was building all of this up to say, if we're looking at personality, one of the best people to cut a personality to shreds would be the movie Whisperer, because that's a medium that focuses heavily on characterization. So, what's your view on the Apocalypse character? And then let's throw it back over to the bombshell. Kaboom!
I'm sorry. I was on Tumblr, so I caught none of what any of you said.
And you are completely unprofessional, and you're fired. You're fired.
Do I still get paid? That's what I want to know.
No.
Yes, you will get something.
No, she doesn't.
She gets wingdings.
Wingdings!
Nobody ain't taking away wingdings for you. All right,
Fabian. Fabian.
Hey.
You got wingdings? Anyway, listen, you could add anything to that Apocalypse conversation there? What do you think of Apocalypse?
Yeah, what do you think of Apocalypse? Seeing that you didn't hear anything I just said.
Lisa?
No.
No.
I was asking Fabian if he
Oh,
did.
me? Oh, sorry.
No, I was asking. Oh, okay, all right, we're all over the place.
Okay, who's asking who?
I'm
All right,
asking
wait, first,
you.
Lisa, you got anything to say? Anything? Any opinion on Apocalypse at all?
Not really, I mean, I guess he is very extremely powerful, with his powers.
Are you familiar with the character?
I am a little bit. Thank you very much. He has omega beams, right? That much I know.
Oh, what? No. Okay.
Fabian,
Oh,
Alright,
Fabian, go
Hey.
on. You take this one over, please.
Yeah, you take it. You take it over.
in terms of Apocalypse, the problem that I have with Apocalypse
Wrong.
isn't so much, well, it's kind of like the character himself being an immortal, and I have a big problem with immortal characters because, like, they live forever, they can't really die, and this is all they've accomplished in these thousands of years that they've been on Earth. I mean, Ra's al Ghul is still trying to conquer the Earth. Vandal Savage, and you got Apocalypse. So I'm like, for characters like him, I would expect something more from a character who's lived since, like, before, paper was invented.
No, but think about it. It's like I actually love eternal characters because to me what they actually mirror is the fact that no matter what you are mortal. I'm not talking about supreme godlike characters, or I'm not talking about the Living Tribunal. I'm not talking about Galactus right now. I'm talking about people like the Shade. I'm talking about people like Ra's al Ghul and Apocalypse. It's like the concept of trying to hold rice in your hand, and that's what they're doing. No one man can shape and control anything for eternity. They have made a change. They made tons of changes, but the thing is, despite their power, despite their long-standingness, they're never able to affect the thing that they're narcissistically pursuing so fervently. They can never affect that permanent change. They're trying to hold rice in their hands, and all that's happening is they're getting everything, but then it starts to slip, the years fade by, and all they can do is reappear and dip their hand back into the race bucket.
And I think what Seth brought up is another thing too, because I personally am not that familiar with Apocalypse, but I have a general gist of, his power set and what he's done. And it kind of seems to be like a one-trick
Enlighten
pony.
me, Fabian, because clearly I didn't know.
Okay, well, Apocalypse, like everyone is saying, is this immortal guy who has the mutant power to control his body to like the molecular level.
No.
That's his mutant power? Was his mutant power?
No. Apocalypse's original mutant power was longevity and great
yeah,
strength.
originally
It was I wouldn't say it was great strength, but it was longevity. He only realized that day when he was killed.
He was strong. He was pretty strong.
He was killed.
Remember that's why he was, when I say overworked, the slave masters, the Egyptian slave masters recognized two things. One, there's this slave that does more work than a whole gang. That's one. And two, when they check the records, constantly his name would be appearing throughout the generations, even though pharaohs would come and go. So, yeah, and that also was a reason for fear, but you're not going to throw away, your biggest workhorse. Mm-hmm. What gave him full control of his body is he found celestial technology.
Yeah, I'm talking about him in present. That's his present power set.
Yeah, so he bonded. All that tech that you see on him, Lisa, that's celestial technology. And the celestial is the same thing as Galactus.
You compare the Celestials to Galactus?
Galactus is a celestial.
Well, the point is that right now, that's the kind of like power that Apocalypse has. What I'm saying is that every time he comes back, he's like 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Get defeated. 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Get defeated. So it's like characters like Bane, who are just like this one-trick pony, who's like, with Bane, I broke the bat. We get it. Do something different. And like, I don't know of any arc that really explored his motivation or went deep into his psyche in terms of exploring his drive, other than the writer telling us, he wants to just like pull a Darwin on the human race.
All right, now, Bombshell, you had something to say before we move on to your next villain.
Well, I will have to say that, first of all, I'm going to contest your statement that Galactus is a celestial. We're going to come back to that. But everything that you said...
And Google...
He's not celestial. He's something different.
He's from like the first universe before Marvel.
Celestials are celestials, Galactus is Galactus.
But we ain't come back to that. No. Everything you said before, Troy, to me, proved why Apocalypse should be on this list. The Age of Apocalypse is one of the greatest story arcs ever in comic books.
I agree.
I'm putting it up there.
I agree. Okay.
And when you said about doing things afterwards, they're still using story elements from that crossover to this day.
That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point.
That's based off of Apocalypse, what he's done. Now, here's the other thing that I'm going to say why he deserves to be up here. You ask any fanboy out there who's the villain they want to see in the next X-Men movie franchise, they're going to say Apocalypse. There's no other X-Men villain that people really want to see right now.
Because we see Magneto too many times. I don't know why Magneto's still in the X-Men.
He's like Lex Luthor for the X-Men.
I mean, like everything you're fighting Magneto all the time like that.
It's annoying.
It's like Lex Luthor and Superman.
I realize that people don't want to make a noise about it. They'll talk about Lex Luthor fighting Superman, every Superman movie, but they won't talk about why is Magneto in every single X-Men series.
It's nonsense.
It makes no sense.
Okay, Comic Vine is giving me... Comic Vine is saying that he isn't, and I disagree with this. Yes, I know that he is.
I disagree with Comic Vine.
Yeah, yes, I do.
Let it go.
I know that they're saying here that he is the embodiment of randomness, which is true. Halfway between eternity and death. I know that. But as far as I remember, that is what the Celestials are.
No.
They are cosmic beings encased in armor, because without it, their forms would just flare out. They're too powerful. And he's one of them. I know that he holds a special purpose, but he's one of them.
You
Galactus
cannot
got a
face
whole nother argument.
Galactus like a Celestial because one, Galactus doesn't wear the armor. One, he uses technology to destroy worlds. He doesn't consume a world, but he just pick it up and eat it. He uses technology to break it down, the energy for him.
Which is the exact same thing as what the comic book is saying that the Celestials are.
Celestials don't do that. They don't have to feed.
So, but you just said that Celestials are...
I say he's different than Celestials because he wears armor.
Listen, fellas.
Because they wear armor.
All of the Celestials wear armor.
No.
That's what... You recognize that what you're seeing... You recognize that what you're seeing in that armor is your perception of him, right? He actually doesn't look like that. All races see Galactus differently. It's the same thing with... And he is in the hierarchy of the Celestials with the one above all, the living tribunal, and all of the others.
Troy, Seth, hold on. Did y'all read Universe X?
Oh God, I hate that.
Yes.
Arc. Yeah, I did. I hate that arc.
No, I don't think they were saying that it was canon, but
yeah, I hate that arc.
I think it was either Universe X or Earth X or one of those series.
Yeah, it was Universe X. I know what you're talking about.
Right, where they said that one of the reasons that Galactus kept coming back to Earth was because gestate use planets to
gestate their people. They're young.
And Galactus was actually trying to save the universe by consuming the Earth. Had one of these baby celestials, like the celestial fetus inside of it. He was trying to consume it, showing that he was an enemy of the Celestials.
But the Celestials, that's what the super Celestials.
No. Let me give a counter there. Let's say that what you're saying is right. Let's say that Ra's al Ghul does stuff that seems destructive, and in his own view, he's trying to protect people, but Ra's is still human. So that doesn't prove to me that Galactus is not a Celestial. Even if what he's doing is against what the Celestials naturally are, he could be a Celestial that's just taken a different path or decided I'm gonna go against my natural doctrine.
But
I don't think that's why he destroys planets. All right, you know what? Let's just leave this for another podcast.
Because you're wrong on that one, Troy. But anyway, my last...
I refuse to admit that until I see solid proof.
On that last note, though, with Apocalypse, besides the fanboys wanting to see him in the X-Men movie, this is one of the questions that we should pose for this podcast. Who you want to see next? But can't beat the name. One of the coolest, hardest names of Apocalypse and the Four Horsemen. I rest my case.
Really? All right. So who is next on your list? It was Apocalypse and...
I think we should turn the floor over to somebody else. That took up a lot of time.
Seth the Joker. Go. Seth?
Yeah.
Joker. Go.
The Joker. I like the Joker because he brings something. It may seem that he's insane, but it's behind the back. He has systematically planned for every occurrence. He has put something in place for everything, and the last story arc before when he was allegedly was killed proved that when he had a plan for all the members of the Bat family. He killed numerous members of the hierarchy of Gotham. He had everything basically under control, and he was just a normal guy.
We're talking about Death in the Family story arc, right?
Yes. So I like him. He's a misunderstood. More and more we find out that he is not only that Batman. He has this connection with Batman. It's like yin and yang. Batman's supposed to capture him, and he's supposed to give something a Batman chase, something to chase after. What I'm saying is that he's a complex character. He has his flaws. DC has milked that cash cow for as much as it could worth. I don't see him coming back. I don't think he should come back no time soon. I think that right now he has done his part in the Bat family and in DC, and especially in Gotham. And anything else if he comes back again and has a story arc again, that will really make me dislike that character and not want to see him or follow him anymore. I believe over the years he has done a lot of things that could be deemed villainous. Like he killed members of the public, as I mentioned earlier. He killed members of the Bat family. He injured people. Batgirl was shot. He doesn't care who you are. He loves a good joke. And what else I can say about him? He is the hero. He is the villain that the world needs.
Is he really?
I wouldn't want him though.
So
yeah,
I guess
he's a villain that you know that if he is in your town, you are most likely dead already, because he probably poisoned the water. He probably has a bomb on your car. He probably killed your family and your children and all everyone that you love already. Have a good laugh about it.
what I love about the Joker is the anachronistic personality that they've written into him. The fact that when you read a comic with the Joker, you never know how it's going to turn out and what's going to happen. He could spend an entire comic stalking someone, create a completely elaborate plan, get them into the corner, be about to strike, and then not kill the person because something on them seems funny or they did something that they consider amusing. I love the strange, tangled, interdependent relationship he has with Bruce, where sometimes it honestly seems like they are creations of one another, and they actually in a sense enjoy the existence of one another, because if you think about it, Bruce is looking for purpose, and the Joker has provided that purpose. Bruce is someone that had his purpose snatched away from him. He had his family; it was stable. He was young.
I don't agree with that.
And then his psyche had that snatched away, and now we have a hole left there in his psyche. He decides to become the Batman character. He's trying to fill that hole with justice and vengeance. And here is this true challenge. This anti-Bat, this complete opposite to him, and they're tumbling over and over and over all the time, for now into Memoria and Eternity, just tumbling over one another, continuing the cycle. I love that. I mean,
I don't agree with the part you said there. I don't think he is. I don't think he was needed. He was needed in Batman's life. Batman had enough villains in his royal gallery already. He
didn't.
I mean, in terms of, like, if he weren't there, Batman would have a purpose. Batman would have a purpose with or without him.
Oh, Batman would have a purpose. Yes, he would still be Batman. He would still be doing what he needs to do. But the raw challenge that the Joker presents is not the same as what the rest of his royal gallery presents.
I don't believe that, because
To me,
Arkham Origin.
Batman could beat any people on his royal gallery. Anyone.
No, you're missing. No. You're missing.
Let me just finish this part here. He could beat anyone in the royal gallery. The thing is about Joker is that Joker is basically is just a normal human being that is kind of twisted. No, everyone in his royal gallery has some people have abilities. Basically, Batman could beat every one of these people. What I'm saying is that Joker. The thing about Joker is that Batman can't stop Joker at any time with back right to the head, bam, fight done. But Joker put himself such in a strategic manner that Batman is not that simple for Batman. Batman could just beat him to a pulp, but then Batman can't beat him unconscious because he might have some kind of bomb that go off that need his voice to be activated or something like that. It is a little deeper than just defeating him in a way.
Can I
I
chime
gotta
in?
jump in.
Yeah, sure.
I got a love-hate relationship with the Joker. Yeah, I think Joker has so much potential. I know people gonna look at me like I'm crazy. I think he's a good villain. I think he's up there. But I never felt like they ever took him to his full potential. It just seems
Really no.
I think so. I mean, yeah,
No,
he killed.
of
Okay, he
all the
killed
of
Wonder
all
Woman.
the of all these storylines, Elseworld storylines, nothing associated. What do you want him to do? I mean, he's killed out the entire Bat family.
When?
He's gone after the
When?
He's become a god in
in
Emperor
Trinity.
Joker.
Also in Trinity War, he was one of the few people that was able to embody the powers, falling upon everyone with no problem. He has faced the
What's the two
Justice
things
League
that
and caused the entire, crew. I mean, issues on numerous occasions. What I don't understand. Okay, wait. Let me ask you something hypothetically. All right, tell me in a few words your iconic, perfect Joker story that does what you want done with the Joker, where you will put down that comic and go, I'm now satisfied. They can kill off the character. He's reached his peak. What do you want him to do? How would you be satisfied?
I'll say this. Let me put it this way, right? He's known for two things, majorly, right? Shooting Barbara Gordon, putting her in a wheelchair, and killing Jason Todd, which he couldn't even get right. Okay? Now, you take a man like, let's say, Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
A man who was, I don't know if anybody ever read Doom War, right? But you look at a man like Dr. Doom, who broke into Wakandia, right? Took all the vibranium from the Black Panther's vault, right? Wrote the words checkmate on the walls. You found a new way to use the vibranium by incorporating it with magic. And when Black Panther went to the Panther God to question Dr. Doom having this, the Panther God told Black Panther, this is his God telling his servant Black Panther that Doom deserved to have it. That's a boss. Because the Panther God saw Dr. Doom ruling the planet, and it would have been better if Dr. Doom ruled the planet. That's a boss.
We will get to Victor quite soon. Trust me.
And that's the Joker has not done anything even close to that level. But
no, as a counter, the Joker is not that character. He is not that villain. He is not the misunderstood villain. He is not the villain that you love to hate, but in reality, you gotta admit that you're being a hypocrite, because he's the guy that's gonna look at you and tell you, no, what you're doing is garbage, and this is the way it should go, and I'm saying what no one wants to say, and I'm doing what no one wants to get up and do. He's not that character.
I beg to differ. I think the Joker is, like, especially his portrayal in the movie, in the Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Rises. What was the second one? Heath Ledger.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, where he represented that pure freedom, that chaos of doing whatever you wanted to do, which is one of the best portrayals of the Joker in any form to me, comic books or anything else. And,
I agree. Okay, continue.
You know what I mean? For me, he was that villain that you loved to hate. Everybody was rooting for the Joker in that movie, more so than Batman. To me, I wanted him to win. And in the comic books, to me, he hasn't done anything on a large level, with a large scale, where you can say that, you know, you really admire him as a villain. I don't know.
He blew up Metropolis and killed Lois Lane in Injustice.
Yeah, that was.
Wow. That was sick. Okay, thank you for reminding me. That was vicious. Okay, you know what? Right there, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, what I think.
But that was the ultimate storyline. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that.
No. I think what the problem is. I think the problem here, Sean, is you have a particular type of villain that you love, and the Joker is
Joker
not
isn't
that
that.
villain. He's not that villain. It's not that he has reached. I think personally, there is nothing else they can do with the character now. He's pretty much refined. It's just a case of using him. I
Yeah.
short
You know
of
what?
short
No.
of short of him becoming a full-on demon or possessed. No.
I think he will possess demons.
But that's what I mean. Like for real, like I think there's I just feel there's something more that can be done because one of my top villains that was on my other list is Mr.Glass from the movie Unbreakable with Bruce
Yeah.
Willis.
But we'll get. I guess we'll get to him when we're finished with the Joker.
Oh yeah. But my point being that he's not on some super grand skill, super powerful type of thing, but his actions showed the level he was willing to go to. And I don't feel the Joker minus that blowing up Metropolis and killing Lois Lane, which was the alternate storyline. If they brought that Joker into current storylines and had him doing more stuff like that, he'd be my number one.
Okay.
Let's move on to another character.
Yeah. Okay, Lisa.
Oh, you're ready for me now?
Or should I? Or would you like me to do Doctor Doom? I'm leaving it up to you. Who do you want to talk about?
You know what? We can talk about Doctor Doom. It's fine.
But what about Loki? Isn't he interesting?
He is, which is why we're saving him for last.
Oh,
Duh.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
See if you don't get cut off during editing. Sorry, I was coughing. So, do you want to do Doctor Doom or Fabian? You want to jump in with one of yours?
I guess we could jump in one of mine.
All right.
One is Sinestro.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. All right. Who is he?
Okay.
First off.
Well, Sal Sinestro is start off as one of the Green Lanterns. I can't quote his sector, but he was like best friends with Abin Sur, and if you follow Green Lantern's origin, Abin Sur was the one who bequeathed his ring to Hal Jordan upon his death, and you know Hal Jordan being the top human Green Lantern whatsoever.
Sector
And-
1417.
Yeah. 2-6. Oh, yeah. That's
No, Sector
that's-
1417. That's an Astros.
Right. So
Mhm.
basically how it started off was that, well, here was this rookie, and here you have Sinestro, the seasoned veteran cop, and they're like the buddy comedy. If you watched Green Lantern, the animated movie,
Emerald Knights.
not Emerald Knights, the first one, First Flight,
Yeah.
it really harmonizes what Sinestro and his relationship with Hal Jordan was in the beginning of the origin story. It was like Training Day, basically.
Actually, that's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Training Day. Well, it was
Yeah.
more like Training Day with Denzel, and Sinestro was Denzel.
You know what? Anyone ever thought about how awesome it would be to see a Green Lantern on PCP? No, think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Imagine the things you would see created.
I don't want to. But the
Someone
thing-
write that. DC, write that.
Well, anyway, with how it comes with Sinestro is that he started off as a good guy. You know, he was a Green Lantern, one of the top, one of the best, and he kind of like took it a step further, and he conquered his planet. And the Guardians were like, "You can't do that," and they banished him. Long story short, he ended up becoming one of the Green Lantern Corps' greatest villains, harnessing the power sphere, the antithesis of will, and starting his own corps. And his story arc was that I'm killing you, I'm doing all these bad things because I believe in the Green Lantern Corps. Which I found was very interesting. And it's like, dude, he's Space Hitler, and I totally dig him. I like totally side with him. What he's going through, his arc, and what he's doing. So that's what I found very interesting about that villain. That
So you like villains of frustration, and that's a term I coin.
Well-
Villains who start off good and through a complete frustration of the futility of the battle, the fact that the battle between good and evil, it never comes to an end, decide to take the extreme approach.
Well, for me, what Sinestro is and what I like about him is that he does bad things, but his ultimate motivation is
Order.
heuristic. it's kind of like Magneto when he was like, he's a Jew during World War II and the oppression and all that stuff that his people went through, and he's fighting back. He's retaliating as a mutant because of how he was treated. So that makes him more sympathetic. And the same thing applies to Sinestro because all he's doing for the good of the courts because of him, the Green Lanterns can kill now. They have other lanterns, other different color lanterns. I guess you could attribute to Sinestro and all the things that he brought about. So he's a real big world universe changer. And he's very, very powerful. I mean, man created his own corpse. He killed the Guardians of the Universe. He's done all these great things, but for a good purpose, for a good reason.
Any comments on the character?
I agree. Great character. The best thing about the Green Lantern movie, and
The Green Lantern movie never happened,
oh, okay.
so I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Lisa?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah. The Green Lantern movie never happened. Alright.
Yeah, so no one got anything to add about Sinestro? You just overlay that?
If I get cut off, fellas, I coming right back.
All right,
Okay.
no problem. I don't think for me personally, I was a big Green Lantern fan. I don't know, to me the series ran away from itself to me, so I haven't read in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of the splitting of the colors and whatnot, but I don't know, they just took that, and I thought that was going to be a temporary thing, or at least I thought it was going to be handled with some conservatism, but they just let that run rampant. But that's just getting off track. Going back to Sinestro, yeah, I agree with pretty much everything that you've said. I like the arrogance of the character. I like the fact that the character has a somewhat misguided kindness to his villainy. He's trying to dole out that tough love so that he can bring order to his universe. You know, something. Once again, he's one of the characters that's holding rice in his hands. He's trying to, in his frustration, control something that's bigger than he is. And even with a whole core, it's just plunged everything into complete chaos. I mean, I don't know if he had anything to do with the death of the Guardians of the Universe. Personally, I'm eternally happy that the bastards are dead.
Well, half of them are dead, because they got new ones now.
Oh, no.
Fabian,
Yeah.
refresh my memory. Like, what's going on right now? Because I'm not a DC man.
Okay, well, what happened now is that after, like, Blackest Night and Brightest Day and all that sort of stuff, what happened is that Sinestro was captured and converted back to a Green Lantern by force by the Guardians.
Mhm.
And he ended up having to team up with Hal to destroy his corpse as part of his penance. He's obviously doing this against his will. And what happened is the Guardians were like fed up with all these emotions running all over the place. They created these this third army to replace the Green Lantern Corps.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they created the third army, and when that ended, it released the first Lantern.
Side note, Shawn.
Yeah.
Third army is kind of like, just picture zombies with Green Lantern powers.
All right.
Picture kind of monstrous zombies with Green Lantern powers. Yeah.
Well, they don't have Green Lantern powers. They just like assimilate you and turn you into more like mindless zombies, space zombies. So, in doing what they did,
Hello?
hello? Yeah, sorry. In doing what they did, they released the first Lantern, which was apparently this time-traveling human who got all of the emotional powers from the beginning of the universe. And he tried to recreate the universe. And in the chaos, Sinestro comes and decides to kill off the Guardians. And he basically does that and tells Hal, you know, I'm done with this. I'm leaving for a while. I'm on hiatus like the Joker. So I ain't coming back in anytime soon. So since the Guardians are dead, what happened is that another set of Guardians are trapped in this pocket universe. I know Kyle, who is the white Power Ranger of the Green Lantern Corps now, he's babying or shepherding these baby Guardians and teaching them to fill the role of the Guardians now. And Hal is currently the leader of Green Lantern Corps.
And do you guys recognize that this has been done before?
Before.
Long time ago in the past, I do remember. Now these circumstances were different, obviously, but
Yeah.
the Guardians did die.
Yeah.
They were reborn as infants. Why, I don't remember. I'm not gonna quote something that I don't remember, but they were reborn, and it was left to, wasn't it left to Hal again?
Kyle, it was up to Kyle
to shepherd these, and they are the ones that we have now that are now dead.
Yeah, so those are dead, and the second set from a pocket dimension, which was the prison for the first Lantern, they are now new to the universe, so they're like asking Kyle to like teach them and raise them the right way that they should go, and do the right thing. So that's basically what's happening in Green Lantern right now.
And that's why DC is garbage.
What? Come again?
That bomb just dropped.
What? Oh, so you just want to derail the whole podcast?
That bomb is. That
All
bomb
right.
just
Let's go down road. Let's derail the podcast. Yeah, tell me, what's wrong with DC? Do tell.
Everything you just said.
Uh-huh.
That whole storyline of people having powers based around emotions.
So DC's terrible because one set of writers decided to write something horribly. Well, to be honest, they've been writing Green Lantern badly for years.
The power of love, hope, rage,
All
avarice.
right, I think the concept is wonderful.
Brilliant, yeah.
I just think that it has never been written well. I don't know why. It's just never been written well. It's always been either campy or completely overwrought and overblown, like jumping the shark. That's pretty much what you...
They've gone too far because they have like Larfleet's book, which is the average Lantern Orange. He has his own book now. The Lanterns have their own book with Guy in it.
LaFreeze has his own book?
Yeah, Larfleet has his own book.
Oh dear.
Larfleet and Red Lanterns, and Guy is now a Red Lantern.
Personally, I blame the Guardians for LaFreeze in the first place because if you lock away a lantern that is so powerful that he alone is his own core, and you come to an agreement where you say this is your area of the universe, do what the hell you want, just don't cross this lane, and you never tell anyone.
Yeah, the Guardians had lots of secrets.
Guardians are dicks.
The Guardians are idiots, thinking that willpower is an emotion.
Oh, yeah, Shawn, I can throw a brick at you later. Let's. All right.
But moving on.
Are we jumping to me now?
Yes.
I suppose there's no one else has anything to say about Sinestro. Just Sinestro.
Anything else on Sinestro?
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. I think he's up there. I love the portrayal.
Lisa, anything to say?
Character.
Not really.
Because the movie never happened.
The movie never happened. I'm still waiting on the movie. So
yeah, the Green Lantern movie would be awesome.
Maybe they'll have Superman versus Batman versus Green Lantern.
Wow.
Depending on who the Green Lantern is.
Well, based on what I've been seeing on the cast, based on what I've been seeing with the casting, it's looking like, you might be joking, right? But it's looking like, yeah, they are definitely planning to push almost as many heroes into this next sequel as possible. It looks like they're going the opposite route of Marvel. Instead of taking their time to do different movies that create a universe, it looks like they're really trying to shoehorn as many people into the sequel as possible so that they can start their universe.
They're kind of already doing that with Arrow. I mean, they're already going to introduce the Flash in Arrow.
And they decided not to do that. He's just going to have to stand.
He's still appearing in the series, episode, I think, 8 and 9. But he won't become a superhero now until his own pilot. So the character Barry Allen will be in Arrow. But I don't think he's going to get his power done until the standalone.
All right. Well, let's hope that is as good as the 90s version. That was awesome.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look at Doctor Doom. Now, this is a different type of villain. Who have we covered so far? We've had the megalomaniac, Apocalypse. We've had the anarchist. We've had the Joker. We've had the fallen White Knight, Sinestro. And now, we're gonna look at a different type of villain. We are going to look at the misunderstood king. We're going to look at Doctor Doom. What I love about Doctor Doom and what I think makes him the best villain that has ever been written in comicdom, personally, is that unlike all these other villains that tend to have a somewhat linear focus and motivation, Doctor Doom is that friend, or he's that guy in the classroom that says any and everything that needs to be said that no one wants to say. He's the one that walks up to the girl and goes, "You are fat because you overeat because you're not dealing with your problems. Deal with your problems or your weight is going to kill you." He's the one that walks up to the teacher and goes, "You never did anything in life, you're insecure, and you push us insecurities onto us and make our lives a living hell. And I'm not going to stand for it anymore." And he's the guy that gets up and he does what needs to be done, even if what needs to be done goes against the current status quo. And that's what I love about him. He's the one that stands up to the gods themselves and looks at them and tells them, "You stand against me constantly. You spit on me. You call me a villain. You call me a problem. What have you done? What have you done to quell world hunger?" I can name X amount of politicians right now that at this very moment are doing corrupt things. What are you doing to remove them from office and straighten out the government? No, you just sit down. You look to your masters that pat you on the head, and you only go so far. And so far isn't good enough. And I love that. He also has a willpower and an arrogance that I admire. This is a man that fell into hell, turned around and looked at the horde of demons coming at him to consume him. This man did not run. He didn't grin. He didn't ask for help. You know what he said? Come and no doom. That's my boy.
No, let me jump in
That's
here.
my boy.
Let me jump about Doom because
I'm gonna grow up and be like him one of these days. I'm trying.
let me jump in here and let me talk about Doom. No, you the way you say Doom, you said something about Doom being he look at gods, and you said he look at gods and they what?
I said he has looked at the gods themselves. The gods I meant was the Avengers. He's looked at the Shining Knights. Those shining examples that everyone looks up to.
It changed up what you're saying, but what you could say when I would deal with that part I would deal with the last part you say, the part with hell. Yes, he was in hell. Yes, the demons were attacking him. But the only thing that saved him is because Thor's hammer was flying through hell, and it so happened he used that as a way back to Earth. If it was
so what? Did he need saving? He did not care.
No, but I'm trying to tell you, is that saved him? No, let me try and explain Doom. Doom is one of those guys that you will see that will talk a good talk, and then when the day comes for action, doesn't perform.
You have to. Where are you pulling this from?
Let me finish.
Where are you pulling this?
Doom is a guy that will face. Let's say he face Hulk, and has no answer for Hulk's strength, but will talk a good talk to talk himself out of knowing that his defeat is certain. Doom is the man that when when he can't deal with an issue, he gets into this 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 state. How to say it? How to explain it? He knows that he is not the superior one. He knows that Reed Richards is smarter than him. He knows that there are people out there that's more powerful than him. He knows, like, that's when he was trying to steal Silver Surfer's power. He knows that he knows there are superior beings out there that he would like to grasp their power, but he will make it seem like, yes, I am the superior one and you are beneath me, and that's not the case.
Is it really?
It's not the case.
Is it really?
Dr.
Doom has matched the Hulk's strength. Dr. Doom has hacked Tony's tech. Dr. Doom has brought down the Avengers to their knees on countless occasions. He has stood against gods. He has brought the Silver Surfer to a equal stalemate match. He has survived a blast from the Infinity Gauntlet. I am not saying that the man isn't egotistical. I am saying it's that ego, that God-driven will, and that's the only thing I can call it, because there is no character, in my opinion, that has a greater willpower and a greater drive than Doom. I'm not saying that his ego hasn't been a source of his downfall on more than one occasion. He is egotistical. Every villain needs a flaw, and that's his flaw. He is very egotistical, but at the same time, that's one of his greatest strengths. And you spoke about all these villains today, and let's use Apocalypse again. You spoke of Apocalypse as being a guy that has been around forever, and what does he have to show for it? Doom is immortal. Yeah, although death will one day claim him, unless he figures out a way to cheat it, which he probably will. Mm-hmm. Doom has a kingdom that's stable. It has an economy that is better than any economy in the Marvel Universe, to my knowledge. Although it is small, his country is recognized and feared by the entire UN within the Marvel Universe. What of these other?
What are they feared for? They're feared because of one person, basically.
That one person has created a nation that is to be feared.
The only thing that's stopping the UN, and they did the other day, I think in the Avengers comic, the Avengers actually invaded the
Latveria.
I think it was the revamped Secret War, correct?
No, that's when Century went in.
Please look.
To get Doom.
All right, no.
The only thing saving Doom is that they're recognized as a sovereign country, and that they are under certain stipulations and stuff. So they're recognized as a country. So he has diplomatic immunity. So technically, you can't arrest him, but you could beat the popo to him. But you can't really invade his country, or that is an act of war. And it's certain little stipulations that are in place.
Let me ask
Troy,
the panelists.
let me jump in here real quick. Troy.
All right.
Right? First of all, you get the slow clap of the night. Even though I picked Apocalypse, I gotta say Doom is my man. He's up there for me. And everything you said to me is on point. What you said about willpower, if Doom was a good guy, he would be a Green Lantern. His willpower is unmatched, right? Everything that you're saying right there about the economy, stable economy, here's a man that his ego is so ridiculous that, I know this is one of the origins they have, right? That he apparently doesn't even have a real, in one of the origins, he didn't have a real scar, a real hideous scar on his face. He had a tiny, minute scar, but he put on his mask
while it was
at
hot.
the wrong time and caused scars because he didn't want his face to be considered flawed. That's this man's ego, right? But at the same time, even with that, you see that he actually cares about his people and that he has a stable economy. He doesn't have a bunch of slaves, or his people aren't poor or nothing like that.
And they love him.
They love him.
I take when I seen the wrong Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is not loved by his people. They are feared.
No. Doctor Doom served and government fears him, and that's a good thing.
Not
Like
only
V
that,
for Vendetta.
His administration fears him, and that is a lovely thing. I wish it happened today. I wish
Not
we had a
only that,
monarch that our own administrations feared. And you want to know what that fear causes? It causes work to get done. Because you know what, Seth? When you go to work and you know that if you don't do good, you gonna get fired, no questions asked. But in this version, fired is you getting killed. You will do work, and you will make sure you do work properly. Because Doom cares about his people, and Doom will see Latveria run properly.
brought to you by the Liberian police. Now, the thing about Doom that, and this is why I would say that he mirrors, I think you mentioned Apocalypse before, to me he mirrors Apocalypse and why he's up there on my list, is that he's pretty much after almost the same thing. He's about the betterment of himself. He's about proving he is better than everybody else. I mean, I think he's a little more egotistical than Apocalypse, but he's about proving that he's the best. You know what I mean? And showing what the human body can do, like showing what the mind can be. There's a man that excels in science, excels in sorcery. You know, like he got every base covered. He's about he doesn't want anybody more powerful than him. He's gonna, if he sees somebody approach him, who claims they're more powerful, he thinks is a threat, he's gonna take them out. I think secretly everybody wants to be like that. Going back to Apocalypse, we got all these old people walking around. Sometimes you just wanna, cleanse the earth. And Doom and show you sometimes like, you know what? You're better than me. I show you why I'm the best. I love that.
Well.
Anyone else shall speak praises of Doom?
Well, I can chime in here. Like I said, I'm not that au fait with Doctor Doom, but from what I gathered and know, he's pretty much everything you said. I think actually that Doctor Doom might be too good for the Marvel Universe, if, considering the kind of character that he is. I mean, like,
I agree.
yeah, I mean,
I
like,
agree.
he
I
could do
agree.
he could do and accomplish so much. It's like the Marvel Universe is kind of like, I think, holding him back.
The DC Universe wouldn't know what to do with a villain like Doom.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that the Marvel Universe.
Sean, go walk
Yeah.
under the bus. I don't want to hear you. I want to hear
And
nothing.
then the thing about the two things I want to say. I want Doom to fall in love with a girl named Gloom.
No.
So you have Doom
No.
and Gloom.
No.
But-
No.
and then another thing
No.
though, I think the flaw about Doctor Doom is that there is nothing that he can't accomplish, and I think that is his downfall, is that he could do anything. So like nothing is a challenge, and I think that is his, like, I don't know.
I think it's also the source of his arrogance.
Yeah, not only his arrogance, but like I think that is what's frustrating him, where the arrogance is coming from, because he could do so much, and he could accomplish anything, that nothing is a challenge to him. So how would you like going through life and like nothing is a challenge for you? That would like rack on your ego, your psyche, and like, what's I could do anything. So what's?
But actually, here's the thing, though, Fabian. Here's the thing.
What else is
To
there?
be honest with you, as much as I love Doom, his flaw is that he's not always right. Because
That's
I think
true.
they said one of the things was he was jealous of Reed Richards because his calculations were off. Reed had actually showed a flaw in his calculations, and he just could not fathom that he was wrong. So to be honest with you, there's times that he's wrong. Like, as good as he is, he made that. I think that's how he's.
You want to accept that he's wrong. That's
he
the
want
thing.
to admit he's wrong. But that doesn't mean that he's the master of everything. Like, he's up there in sorcery, yes, but he's not as good as like Doctor Strange. He's up there in technology, but I don't think he's as good as Reed Richards, right? So he thinks he is, but he isn't.
His ego. That's true.
Right.
But
So
what I
that's
admire,
all
something
that-
I,
There's a planet. Do you know that there's a living planet in Marvel called Ego?
Yeah.
ego.
So-
Ego's dead.
Ego's dead?
Yeah.
Oh, like more.
Galactus killed him.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying.
No, wait. That happened in the cartoon? Did that happen in the comic? Is Ego dead in the comic universe?
I'm not too sure, but I'm just making the allegory that, Doctor Doom's ego is as big as Ego, or even bigger.
I
Yeah,
see what you did there.
probably bigger. Probably bigger.
Mhm.
All right. I could talk about Doctor Doom all night, but 'tis a lady's favor.
Mhm.
My dear sweet Lisa, the apple of my eye. Oh, movie whisperer.
Come
I
on,
That's
summon
gonna
Tumblr.
get
thee.
you nowhere, Troy.
I summon thee forth from the ether.
Tumblr.
I call
Tumblr, she's
forth the
forth-
runes.
she's forth from Tumblr.
I call forth on the runes of the movie. I call forth on the gods of celluloid, the shards of Nasi. I stand here, come forth, and I say, stand! Speak to me. Speak to me of villainy. Speak to me through your beauty. Speak to me in podcast.
Give me a moment to recover from that.
I'll be
I
doing a
was-
Broadway show soon, just now you guys know.
That what?
I'll be doing a Broadway show soon.
Oh, I won't
A
be
little bit of
attending.
Shakespeare in there.
No.
Sean will be reciting poetry.
Mm.
Will Tom Hiddleston be there as well? He's good at that.
Yes.
He will be. Okay, then
Yes.
I'll definitely come.
I'm a personal friend. Yes.
You are. Are
Benedict will be there. So will Quinto and Chris Payne.
Moving on, people. Moving on.
And there will be tons of mops because wet tiles are dangerous.
Let's
you?
go.
As Sean said, moving on.
Real quick.
Ask yourself this, folks. How did the tiles get wet? Okay, yeah, so we were saying?
I was gonna talk about Loki, but I changed my mind, and I'm gonna do Ozymandias instead.
But Loki will be the first person we'll cover in part 2 because everyone's only covered one of their villains.
That is true.
That is true.
That is true.
Right. So look out
Um,
for that, folks. It'll probably take about 3 hours.
y'all could just not be there. How about that?
Yeah, all right. We'll be working on a special secret project. A new superhero group that's going to touch comic books soon, ladies and gentlemen. We won't
In due
reveal the
time.
name
I mean,
soon.
Tam.
Right. So, talk to me later, and you guys will find out. Yeah.
So Lisa, go ahead. Ozymandias.
Yeah. So Ozymandias.
Ozymandias.
Quasimodo.
Hush, Fabian, hush. Fuck.
Okay, Lisa, let me start you off. In
Go
Egypt's
ahead.
sandy silence, all alone, stands a gigantic leg, which far off throws the only shadow that the desert knows. I am the great Ozymandias, saith the stone. The king of kings, this mighty city shows, the wonders of my hand, the city's gone. Naught but the leg remaining to disclose the site of this forgotten Babylon. We wander as some hunter may express, wonder like ours, went through the wilderness where London stood, holding the wolf in chast. He meets some fragment huge and stops to guess what powerful but unrecorded race once dwelt in that annihilated place. Go.
I don't quite know how to follow up on that.
That was Smith's Ozymandias, and that's what he based his persona off of.
Okay, well, guess what? I am basing mine on the movie.
And that's what he based his persona also off of.
And I will be talking about Ozymandias from the movie.
Go for it.
I chose this character because reading about his earlier life, he was born to German parents, and he was kind of embarrassed or ashamed of them because they were Nazi sympathizers. But Adrian was very smart, and he even knew this when he was a kid. So he didn't like the attention he was getting from it, and he basically, I guess, dumbed himself down and became average, an average student. But then, after his parents died, and this is what I admire about him, not everything else that followed, but when he was growing up, that after his parents died, he gave away his parents' inheritance. He donated it all to charity, and then he basically
What a
went on.
villain. Horrible person.
And basically, he went on this journey, mostly following Alexander the Great's journey as well. But that's kind of what I admire about him, because he didn't let the death of his parents get to him.
Like Batman.
Yes, like Batman.
I heard
He
that.
didn't let death get to him in such a way that it stopped his life, or he was, he was at a standstill, and all he was thinking about was, his parents are gone. What is he gonna do? He knew exactly what he wanted. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to create something from nothing, and he wanted it to be his, not something that someone gave to him. So that's kind of what I admire about him. And then, of course, all the bad stuff happens.
Well, tell us about the bad stuff. What do you do?
Did he donate to charity somewhere?
He turned it from...
I think she's crying.
I am not crying. Stop it. From the movie standpoint, he basically created, he's been working on this plan for a long time to basically unite the world and bring about peace.
That monster.
But the way he did it also included killing millions of people. So that was kind of the bad thing that he did, I guess.
Collateral damage.
Is he a physically superior person? Does he have a great will? Is he smart?
He is extremely smart. Apparently he uses 100% of his brain. But yeah, he is smart. He's strong, he's fast, and I don't know, I kind of like him because he's not, when you first see him, you don't really think of him as a villain. You think of him as wanting to do something for the greater good. But obviously he doesn't see into the long run how killing all these people are going to hurt other people.
It doesn't matter.
Fabian,
Dream to him. But yeah, I do. Obviously, the character comes from the Watchmen novel, graphic novel by Alan Moore, right?
Yeah.
They did explore it recently in the Before Watchmen series, where they showed that his journey to become that great character.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I'm trying to avoid saying his name.
Ozymandias.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. Like what Sinestro, like I said, a character like Sinestro is doing. The bad things he's doing is for a greater good that no one seems to understand or try to sympathize with. And that is the kind of like conundrum with that same character, because ultimately he does accomplish world peace. He does accomplish it. He's like the only villain who has permanently accomplished his goal.
Also completed his task long before the heroes got to him.
Yeah. And
well, as he went at the end, he had asked, it was either Rorschach or Dr. Manhattan, if what he did was right. And I think it's more like Manhattan or Rorschach were saying that it's not going to be a lasting peace, even though you think what you did was right. Or
Rorschach thought that because it was built based on a lie. It was based on a lie, so Rorschach was going to tell everybody. And Manhattan was like, no, this is peace. This is lasting. But it's based on a lie. And then Manhattan killed Rorschach. No spoilers. The movie's been out for years now, so
it has been.
But yeah, and I think that's
Rorschach asked to be killed, didn't he?
Well, he asked to be killed, but because he knew that he
couldn't stay silent. Yeah,
he couldn't stay silent, and yeah, I think the character being the brilliant person that he is a reflection of people who are brilliant, who think generations ahead of everybody else, and people don't understand them in the here and now. Kind of have an appreciation for them afterward, like Alexander the Great and all the other great leaders, pacifists. They're not recognized for who they are in that time, but only afterward do we recognize that whatever they did, bad or good, was for a greater, long-lasting effect. And I think that is the problem with a lot of really brilliant, quote-unquote, villains.
I'm seeing a common theme with a lot of these villains. I got a question for you guys. Do you think it requires a huge ego to be a villain? We're not talking about the Beyonce song. We're just talking about.
No, I think what it requires is a fierce motivation
Battle.
and a great determination to follow through with your beliefs no matter what. I think that's what makes a great villain character. They're not necessarily black and white bad. They have a viewpoint, but unlike other people who will compromise, they will not compromise.
Well said.
Well, I think what makes a great villain is somebody who does what might be considered socially or ethically unsound or not right, but they have their own justification for it. They have their own motivation behind it. And as long as you understand that, I think that what makes a great villain. Sometimes their motivation might not be something that you agree with or even sympathize with, but it's something that you at least recognize. I mean, the Joker was a character that you can't really, unless you're like skewed to his belief system, he's not a character that you're supposed to like. We understand where he's coming from. Other characters like the Rogues, like the Flash's Rogues, Magneto, Apocalypse, all of them have some deep motivation. So it's not basically a get-rich-quick scheme, rob a bank, or put on a fancy costume and mess with the villain. Sorry, mess with the superhero. It has to be something beyond that, something human, something deep that really drives. That forms impetus for why they're doing this. It can't just be like, oh, I need money, rob a bank, or oh, I want to take over the world. So that's shallow. That's like really one-dimensional. And people don't really connect with something like that. And the best villains to me are the ones who have a heroic skill. That's for me personally. They have a heroic skill, but just are villains because what they're doing is not right in everybody's eyes, like Zod in the movie Man of Steel. If you were a Kryptonian, then Zod would be the hero and Superman would be the villain because Zod is trying to recreate Krypton after it exploded. He's trying to preserve his race. And if you were a Kryptonian, you would be rooting for the man to, perpetuate your kind, your people. Whereas, if you're a human, like the people that filmed the movie, Zod is a bad guy because he wants to destroy all of Earth. So that is what makes that character sympathetic for me.
I think a great villain, more so than just a regular villain, a great villain realizes that you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. As you guys were saying, they are willing to go that extra mile. Just, you know what I mean? A little bit more than the average bad guy for the ultimate fruition of their plans. And that, like you guys saying, that willpower, that drive, that arrogance, whatever you want to say, is something that I think a lot of times we secretly admire. Us humans, we how many times we want to challenge ourselves to be better, to do something for the greater good, but we can't make that sacrifice, And
Can't kill old people.
Yeah, Sean.
I'm
You
sorry.
gonna visit you in jail,
Listen, they take too long to get where they're going.
No comment. We at CAT actually support the elderly and appreciate their endeavors in the past to build a foundation for where we are. We don't support the Beijing bombshells. Obviously, what's the word I'm looking for? Fascist views on the elderly, and we apologize. We're gonna ask the bombshell to maybe spend some time getting some hugs, and we'll be back at the next podcast with a new and improved Beijing bombshell.
I went through a traumatic moment.
Yeah. Yes. Clearly. All right, so I figured out we can close up here. I am gonna put out there that we do a part 2 so that everyone gets their secondary villain thrown in. Seth, you got the closing words for tonight?
Loki!
And that's it, folks. It was great having you.
Yeah, so we clearly ended on a low-key.
I'm the Everyman's Everyman, Caster Troy. We've got the attorney at comics, Sethano Demira. We've got the fan of steel, the movie whisperer, and the boy who's back, the sultan of drawings, the king of imagination, he who puts pen to paper, the eternal Beijing bombshell, Shawn Aline. Applause.
Stephen, the cards are applauding for you.
All right. And hopefully, at the next podcast, we'll start from that low key and move on to some good points about villainy.
I see what you did. I see what you did there.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. We're very sorry.
And that's about